ecosystems. An ecosystem is the network of all of the living and non-living things in an area. It includes things like plants, animals, and other living things like mushrooms. It also includes all of the non-living things like water, soil, rocks, and sunlight. Some great examples of ecosystems are forests, woodlands, ponds, and the ocean. Now let's learn some more.
All organisms need 4 things to live: energy, nutrients, water, and habitat. Even humans need all 4 of these, since we're organisms too. To explain exactly what all of these are, I'm going to give you an example that you probably see all of the time in New Haven, the elm tree. First, we have energy. The elm tree gets energy from the sun. Sunlight provides solar energy, which the elm tree uses to chemically produce its own food. Next, we have nutrients. The elm tree gets minerals from the ground to make amino acids, chlorophyll, and other important chemicals. The elm tree also takes in carbon dioxide, which it uses to breathe, just like how we need oxygen to breathe. As for water, the elm trees around here get their water from the rain. And habitat is simply a place where the plant can get all 3 other categories and live safe from predators. For the elm tree, this means good sunlight, good protection from the wind, and healthy soil.
Here we have a bear, which is another type of organism, which is an animal specifically. Animals, like plants, still need energy, nutrients, water, and habitat to survive. The habitat of this bear includes a forest, a stream or river with fish in it. The fish will supply energy and nutrients for the bear in terms of protein, carbohydrates, and fat, which is used for energy. Since bears are omnivores, they also eat grasses and berries found nearby. Bears also need to drink water to survive. Here, you'll see the bear is drinking from the stream it lives near. In terms of habitat, bears are looking for a forest, a body of water like a stream or a river, and someplace near a cave or somewhere else that will be safe and warm when they hibernate through the winter. Bears also like to live far away from their predators. They don't have many predators, but you'll notice that bears often live far away from humans. And bears and all animals need energy, nutrients, water, and habitat in order to survive.
I'm going to be talking to you guys about 4 different ways that organisms can fit together in an ecosystem. One example that you're probably already familiar with is the predator-prey interaction. This is where one organism eats another. A great example of this is birds and insects. You may have seen birds at the park picking insects out of the dirt. Another example of an interaction between 2 species is mutualism. This is where 2 organisms work together and they both benefit. So a good example of this is in Finding Nemo. Clownfish and anemones live together and they both benefit from this interaction. Another example is commensalism. This is where one organism lives on or near another organism and benefits, but the other organism isn't bothered at all. So a great example of this is moss on trees. You may have seen moss growing on trees and they benefit from a habitat, but the tree doesn't even notice they're there. So the moss is happy and the tree isn't bothered. Our last example is parasitism. This is when one organism lives on or feeds off of another organism and this hurts them. An example of this here in Connecticut is ticks. You may have heard about these. If you're walking in the tall grass, or if an animal is walking in the tall grass, these little insects will latch on and they'll suck your blood, kind of like little vampires. But you are unhappy about this, but the tick is happy because they get a meal. So those are the 4 great examples of ways that organisms can interact.
We've learned about what ecosystems are and how they work. Think about the New Haven ecosystem around you. Can you think of an example of a plant in New Haven? How about an animal? Draw both on your activity worksheet. Now try to think of 2 organisms in New Haven and how they interact. Is their relationship predator-prey, commensalism, mutualism, or parasitism? Thanks guys, and we'll see you later.